Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, as we do every Wednesday evening, we're going to have Rich Shavinsky with us talking about consultants in the workplace. He's got a great topic this evening. And as most of the time, everything he talks about can bleed over into non-consulting situations. He's been at it for almost as long as I have. He really has some in the trenches knowledge to pass along. And as we do most every evening, we'd like you to take 10 seconds to be grateful. Be grateful for three things that happened to you today. Three things that you were blessed by today. Three things that maybe were a challenge today. Be grateful. Go. You can't be unhappy when you're grateful. Being grateful. The attitude of gratitude. And being just grateful for that makes all the difference in the world of how you see it. We've been spending these videos on the last few weeks on myths of the market, myths of hiring. And today's myth is a big one, and one that is probably going to continue to be a myth because it just is. And it's that the candidate in the employer's eyes, he or she has owned their own business or been the president of a company or managed a big company or something like that. And the implied reason is they're going to come in and tell us how to run our company. It couldn't be further from the truth. Some people might, and some people wouldn't. Just because somebody's been the president of their own company doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to try to be the president of your company. Just because they've managed a whole bunch of people and felt like that the buck stopped with them, that they're going to have to come in and do the same with you. In fact, if you take a survey of what most presidents of companies or owners of what most companies do, you'll find out that they are the ones that are serving the most. Most of us oftentimes wonder who really works for who, or who really works for whom is the proper way to put it. But that the further to the top you go, the more those people serve. They're constantly, if they do their job right, are worried and looking out for all of the people that work in their company. And it's really a myth to think that people work for someone else. The truth is we work for ourselves, that we have to look in the mirror every day, and we're the ones that we have to be responsible to. Did we do our best? Did we give it our all? Did we care enough to take every asset we had and use it? We work for ourselves. Now, we may report to somebody else, and somebody else may be responsible for the collective, making sure everybody works together and be responsible for it all working together. But if a person is a good leader or a good president or a good owner, they have to be ultimately responsible for putting the whole thing together. And they serve probably more than what anybody imagines. So just because a person's been the president or owner of a company doesn't necessarily make him or her good or bad. It depends on your company and your situation and whether or not they can contribute to you. In fact, in some ways, they can contribute better because they see the whole picture. But we see candidates eliminated all the time because they've been the president or owner of a company, and they get eliminated because the people that are interviewing them feel like they're going to try to run something. That's one of the reasons that you see many candidates go from being the president and owner of a company to founding another company. It's not so much that they're thrilled with the idea of starting another company, it's that they can't find anybody that would hire them, which is a shame because there's a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience that these people can bring to your organization. So it's a myth. Just because a person's owned their own company or been the president of a company doesn't make them necessarily good or bad. You have to analyze what happened to the company, why they were. I had a candidate the other day, he owned a company and he sold it and did real well with it. Now, some people were concerned about the fact that he had made a lot of money and that he didn't necessarily need to work. But that's a good reason to hire somebody. They don't really need to. They do it because they want to. So investigate the reasons as to why. It makes a big difference. And it's a myth. Please understand that. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution.